Hi, it's Ben from Trekitt, and in today's Inside Look video we're going to be going over the brand new Therm-A-Rest NeoAir XLite NXT, this guy right here. Now, if you're familiar with the NeoAir series from Therm-A-Rest, there might be one thing that springs to mind about some of their older mats. But this new mat, and the new family of mats that have come out from them, they've made some significant improvements both for quality of life and just in general improving the mats. It's been a really nice upgrade, and they are now 6 times quieter, which is a very important thing which we'll mention a bit later in the video. So join us along as we talk through the features, the use of this mat and everything about it. We'll run through it all with you. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the NeoAir family from Therm-A-Rest, we're going to be focusing on the XLite primarily in this video, which is their most sort of well-rounded mat that is suitable for most people. But essentially, every mat that is in the XLite range has been designed to be as lightweight and packable as possible while still packing a real punch when it comes to the R value. So these pack down really, really small considering the amount of comfort that you get. Oh, he's a little bit excited today, sorry, it's a little bit windy, so he's just letting us know. But these mats pack down really, really small, so roughly to the size of a 1 litre Nalgene bottle, which for a mat that is over 7 centimetres thick, which is super comfortable and packs down that small with an R value of 4.5 is really, really impressive. Well, that means that this mat is suitable for full 4-season use, up to and including some light full-on sort of winter mountain use. But if you really go really cold, then there is the X-Therm that sits above this as well. But for most people, the NeoAir XLite is where we're really looking. And it's just a relatively tough, super lightweight, small pack size mat that's going to be suitable for anyone that's hiking, bikepacking, mountaineering, even lightweight sort of trail runners may get along with something like this if they're doing some lightweight overnighting, sort of fast packers amongst you. This mat is really suitable for it all. So Therm-A-Rest have used a 30 denier ripstop nylon on this particular mat, which is a really good balance of durability and weight. It is not going to be a super, super heavy duty mat, but that should be reflected in the overall weight and pack size of it. But if you do happen to puncture this because of the ripstop will stop it from tearing excessively. And with that, Therm-A-Rest do also include a puncture repair kit. So if you are out and about, you happen to be surrounded by thistles and you accidentally catch one, you can repair this mat on the go with the included puncture repair kit. But the outer material isn't really the interesting bit about this mat. The real interesting part about all this mat is what's going on underneath that fabric. And that is that Therm-A-Rest have used a slightly updated version of their Therm-A-Capture, which essentially is a heat reflective technology that reflects a lot of your body heat back to you, massively increasing the warmth of a mat like this without a significant increase in weight. Now that Therm-A-Capture was what gave the old versions of this mat the sort of crisp packet sounding feeling. You know, it was something that I personally really didn't get on with. Sorry, Therm-A-Rest. But this version of the mat they have made 6 times, according to the box, 6 times quieter. And in practice, it is significantly quieter. Just having it in my hands here, it is something now that I would consider sleeping on quite happily and is going to still be really comfortable, really light, packed down really small, and 6 times quieter, so you don't need your earplugs anymore. Inside this mat, Therm-A-Rest have used a triangular core matrix. It's basically to describe the way that this mat is constructed in order to eliminate cold spots and make the mat more thermally efficient without adding extra weight. And essentially, it looks a little bit like some stacked triangles, but there's going to be a graphic on screen now that I'm sure Harry will put in Microsoft Paint or something. But essentially, you get those triangular baffles which reduce the amount of cold spots, and it's just a slightly more thermally efficient design that enables this mat to outperform some others in its weight category. Yeah, I know, I'm talking about it. Along with that, they have also increased the thickness of this mat to 7.6 centimetres, so it is trying to escape, but it is 7.6 centimetres thick. So you get even more comfort, which is a great thing considering they haven't increased the overall pack size. You know, they've clearly made a deal somewhere with someone to make that happen. But 7.6 centimetres is a really, really comfy mat. You can side sleep on this, and in practice when I've been laying down on this, my hip doesn't touch the ground, you know, depending on the firmness that you've got this inflated to. Now, apart from that, one thing that is also worth an honourable mention is the valve that's on the end. So this valve is something that has been on Therm-A-Rest mats for a little while now. but it effectively is a one-way valve that you can inflate with the included pump sack, which is one of the other features that we will show you in a minute. And because it's a one-way valve, you can force air into the mat to inflate it, but that air won't come rushing back out. So this is a little bit more about the valve that we were talking about. So it is closed at the moment, but I can open it and the mat is still inflated because it's in that one-way position at the moment. So what we can actually do with these wings on the mat here is open them, and you hear all that air rushing out, and the air will then come out, and it effectively opens up that valve. So I turn that back that way. I'm not going to fully deflate the mat for this, but you also, on the top of the valve rim, have this little lip here, and that is what connects our pump sack to the mat. So the included pump sack has a matching set so that it will go onto the valve. So we can do that, and it just clips over the top. I must admit, it's not always the easiest to get on there, but once it's on, it does form a nice tight seal. And then, not the ideal position to be doing this, but we'll see how we do. What you're essentially doing, opening the pump sack out and blowing from a little bit further back to create a little bit of a vortex so it draws drier air in, and then you can roll and squeeze, press down, and the mat will inflate. Super efficient, super quick, no moving parts. And you can pump that mat up. And once that mat is inflated, because you've got those wings in that orientation, the mat's now inflated, that valve is still open, but because it's a one-way, it's only allowing air in. But for peace of mind, you then tighten it down and you've got a mat that's then fully inflated again. Now, there are wings on the valve of this mat that also mean that you can turn it into an open valve for deflating. So if you twist the wings the other way, it will then turn into an open valve, and all of that air will come rushing out, and then you can roll the mat away and pack it back up to about that size of an Nalgene bottle. You do also, as mentioned before, get that puncture repair kit, and you get a stuff sack to put it all into to carry it in, and we recommend leaving that puncture repair kit in there. It only weighs a few grams, and you'll regret it if you need it and you haven't got it there. Hopefully that little rundown has given you a little bit of insight into the Therm-A-Rest NeoAir XLite. This particular mat is the rectangular one, so this is the XLite Max. We also do it in a tapered format as well, which will save a little bit of weight and pack size, so depending on your preference, I would always go for a rectangular one for a little bit more space, but we do also do the tapered version. And there'll be a link on screen now where you can shop that. If you have any other questions or anything you'd like to know, please do pop them down in the comments and we'll do our best to answer them. It is also worth mentioning, because you might have the question there, this is the MSR Tin Time 2. Yeah, I'm saying something else about someone else in the video, calm down. Which is a fantastic tent from MSR, which will also be available on our website, and I'm sat in a Helinox Chair 1 in the funky multi-block colour, which you can't really see here, but it is very cool. Anyway, I'm going to deflate this guy before he really annoys me, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.